So what kind of nurse are you? Where do you work?
So I'm a cardiac step-down nurse, cardiac nurse. I currently work in San Francisco, and yeah, I've been doing that like my whole career, cardiac.
Have you really?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing cardiac care?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
That's complicated. So you're
Yeah,
really good
I
at
like-
using EKG strips.
Yep.
Okay.
And doing EKGs and doing like the stroke protocol, heart attack, all that stuff. I like the intensity and the more serious nature of it.
The high acuity patient care.
Yeah.
So how do you stay in a high acuity patient care field and maintain Toby's health and well-being?
So I'm really into fitness. I work out all the time. I try to eat healthy, a lot of fruits and vegetables, make sure I get enough sleep. And then I make sure on my off days, I do a lot of like self-care, have fun, like dancing, hanging out with friends, just enjoying nature and everything.
I love those answers.
Yeah. So.
Are you an anomaly in your profession, or would you say that's the norm for nurses to have your kind of self-care routine?
No, I'm an anomaly for sure. Yeah. I try to lead by example a lot of the times. Just the meals I bring to work or basically what I eat at home is all the same. Meal prepping. I talk about like how important sleep is, and I work out all the time before or after work. So
are these things that you had to find out the hard way, or did you learn this in nursing school?
No, did not learn it in nursing school. I just learned it just from like my own research and just trial and error.
Okay. Do you wish like what you're doing now to keep yourself healthy and well, do you wish that could be taught in nursing school, or did you have to find it out on your own?
100%, because I believe that would severely reduce burnout as well.
Yeah. What would you say is the formula that creates burnout?
So a lot of the times it's either overworking, it's either like a bad workplace culture, and then it's not taking the time, utilizing the time off that you have correctly in order to refresh you to go back to work again.
Cardiac care, you see some hard things.
Yeah. So I actually recently had a shift where like last week, for example, it was pretty rough. I was like, wow, this is like, it's been a while since I've had a rough shift like this. And I just make sure I took the time to myself. I went to my balcony, just stayed outside, read a book, and then just watched the sunset, and it felt really good.
Parasympathetic
Yeah,
state.
just center yourself again.
Can you replenish yourself pretty quickly, or have you had those moments where it's like, it's taking me days or weeks to get back to my baseline?
The only time that's ever happened to me was when I work night shift, but working days, it's pretty easy to replenish myself, especially when I have like a good amount of stretch of days off, because I do like my whole routine and everything.
Yeah. So do you see a lot of healthcare professionals not living like you and struggling?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Is that the norm or the exception, would you say?
I would say it is like maybe 60 to 70% of healthcare workers like struggle to find that like balance and everything. We don't just give pills, we don't just clean patients, we also take care of their mental health. We help make sure that their voice is heard in regards to all the other providers and everything. And it's just a whole holistic approach with us.
In terms of that, when people are coming into the profession, what would you tell a new nurse? Like they came and said, Toby, I want to be like you. I want to be healthy like you. I want to be well like you. I want to stay in this career. What's your best advice for them?
First, you got to make sure you get all your self-care habits. Figure out what works for you the best. You got to have not a set schedule, but you have to have like a routine that works best for you in order to be successful in nursing. I would tell them that it'll be rough in the beginning because you don't know what you don't know. But as time goes on, just be open to learning about all new experiences and really just focusing on, even though in the early goings you'll have a lot of bad shifts, just make sure on your days off you really recenter yourself and do all these good habits and routines that will get you back to get going to the next shift.
We need more nurses like you, I will say that.
Hopefully.
So last question.
Thank you.
How can someone let you know that you're appreciated? Like what would that look like for you? If it's a patient or a family member, someone here, a healthcare leader, like how could they say, Toby, we so appreciate what you're doing and how hard you work and how much you give to your patients? What would that appreciation look like for you?
I think I'm not really a fan of gifts or anything, but when patients write me like little notes, like after they get discharged or leave the hospital, I really appreciate that because that means I actually made a big impact to their like care and just their experience in the hospital. So
anything else that you think the community needs to know about nursing that they might not understand right now, especially around maybe like this mass exodus, right? Like by the end of this year they say we're going to be short 450,000 nurses. What does the community really need to know about that? Like how does that really impact them?
Well, the fact that we're losing so many nurses, all that's going to do is put an even bigger strain on the nurses that are still working. So I feel like it'll just be like a cycle of, because more nurses are leaving, the nurses that are still here will get more stressed, and then they'll make more people leave, and then it's just like, the back and forth.
It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, exactly.